Good evening. It's been a near record-breaking start to July, with Adelaide belted by a staggering 56 millimetres of rain in a little under 2 days. But the flood risk is not over yet. Authorities warn the high tide level forecast this evening means the Patawalonga could spill over, putting residents in Glenelg and surrounding areas at risk. Across the city, it's been a day of wonder and heartache as a monster clean-up begins.
A colossal rainstorm. At Kersbrook, conditions ripe for a leisurely paddle. The Oakbank racecourse now underwater. A near record July downpour, the wettest start to July in 40 years.
It hasn't breached this wall for probably 10 years.
The Bridgewater Raiders clubhouse flooded, its members facing a massive clean-up.
It's a bit gut-wrenching to see it get washed away, literally, excuse the pun.
2/3 of the average July rainfall fell over the course of 24 hours. This cafe at Aldgate didn't stand a chance. Millions of litres spilling into the Onkaparinga River. The Patawalonga swollen, drenched and in the dark, the Braves still pounding the pavement at the bay.
I think once you get moving, you warm up pretty quickly.
Perfect, has got it all to myself. No pain, no gain, that's it.
In Mount Barker, a toppled gum slammed through the roof of the Shute family's lounge room.
The ceiling's sort of come down, there's downlights hanging down. Yeah, fair bit of destruction, as you can see.
Surprising the family's American house guests.
Welcome to Australia, I guess.
From Fullerton to Elizabeth Vale, the big wet created a traffic hazard 4 days after a police plea to drive to the conditions.
The at times unpredictable squalls of wind and rain made it ultra difficult for pilots at Adelaide Airport, with flights contending against the elements, landing at a crawl, and some pilots abandoning the landing entirely.
The SES responding to almost 300 calls for assistance, warning as the clean-up begins, some risks remain.
There's no real way to tell whether a tree's about to drop its limb or fall, and so it's just best to be vigilant and be careful at all times.
Hayden Nelson, 7 News.
And let's go live now to Gertie Sperling. Gertie, the Patawalonga is tonight still posing a serious risk.
Rosanna, the danger time is between now and 9 o'clock tonight. Residents living along the Pat are being warned to place any items of value at higher ground. The good news is, though, conditions will ease overnight, with showers tapering off as the second of two cold fronts continues to clear to the east. Gusty winds are still possible, with the city almost in the clear. Illuminate Festival organisers are breathing a sigh of relief. Night visions here in the Botanic Garden opened last night, with ticket holders forced to brave the wild and woolly conditions. But it is a winter festival after all, and part of the fun is embracing all that the season has to offer. Now, the free City Lights program kicks off tomorrow night. I'll have more on what's to come weather-wise a little later this hour, Rosanna.
All right, thank you, Gertie. Turning to breaking news now, and a teacher at an eastern suburb school has been arrested and charged with historical child sex offences. Police say the man in his 60s was arrested on Friday and bailed to appear in the Adelaide Magistrates Court in September. The principal's contacted parents saying there is no evidence the alleged offending involved a student at the school. A 12-year-old boy's been arrested, accused of walking through Rundle Mall with a machete down his pants. Lauren Rose has been following the story. Lauren, he and his mates were being closely monitored.
That's right, Rosanna. They probably didn't realise they were being watched by police in real time on the city's CCTV network. When officers pounced, it's alleged the 12-year-old from Tea Tree Gully tried to make a run for it. He was eventually captured nearby, and this is what officers say they found: a 53-centimetre stainless steel machete hidden in the boy's pants. An article of disguise, this balaclava, was also found in his possession. 7 News has obtained security video of yesterday afternoon's foot chase. Police say they initially arrested the 12-year-old and a 15-year-old before a third boy tried to open the patrol's car door to let them out. The trio was bailed to face the youth court. It comes as police promised to boost their presence in the CBD by the end of the year. Rosanna.
All right, thank you, Lauren. An 88-year-old man has been killed in a crash at Hindmarsh Valley. The local man's sedan ran off Victor Harbour Road at around 4:30 this morning. The sole occupant, he sadly died at the scene. Road closures were in place for several hours this morning while major police started their investigation. Well, now to shock allegations against an Adelaide Hills school contractor accused of indecently assaulting a student. Deanna Williams joins us from the Mount Barker courthouse. Dee, there are now 2 alleged victims.
That's right, Rosanna, and that was news to the man's lawyer when he fronted court for the first time this afternoon. We can't show you the man's tell you the man's name or show you what he looks like because the investigation is still in the early stages and the identification process hasn't been completed. But what I can tell you is that he's a contract cleaner who worked for multiple public schools and even a childcare centre. Court documents reveal he's accused of indecently assaulting 2 female students on 2 separate occasions between April and July last year and in April this year. Will you be challenging the allegations?
Will you be
What have you got to say?
charges?
What have you got to say about the allegations? It's understood the 30-year-old has also worked at schools in Gawler, Seaford, Greenwith and Manopara, and he remains on bail until his next court date in November. Rosanna.
All right, thank you, Dee. A man who assaulted a prominent restaurateur and burnt down his heritage-listed hotel could walk free from prison in 10 months. Joseph Shahadi attacked and threatened Walter Ventura inside his North Adelaide mansion and in front of his 2 young children in July 2024. The 39-year-old also torched the Oxford Hotel. The judge said Shahadi waged a campaign of terror against Mr Ventura in retribution over a failed joint business venture. With time served, Shahadi will be eligible to apply for parole in April next year. Security cameras have captured the dramatic arrest of a teenage boy after police chased a stolen car through the northern suburbs. It was one of 2 15-year-olds who tried to escape by climbing onto the roof of a house.
3 a.m. at Manopara West, police swoop on a teenage suspect and arrest him in a front yard.
Get back in school.
Nearby residents who were woken watched on as officers surrounded the house where the 2 teens climbed onto the roof.
My dogs are going off, the police dogs are going off, and yeah, it was all happening pretty fast.
Moments earlier, a mother who was at work on night shift raised the alarm when her CCTV cameras caught 2 boys in her backyard.
She noticed it on her cameras, and so because she wasn't home, she was worried. So we let the police know that they had gone through their backyard.
The boys had just dumped a stolen car on Sarah Street and were running from police. The pair tried to escape by climbing on a roof, but police dog Griffin tracked them down.
And so the police came back to their house, and that's when they saw them on the roof and had to gain access to get them off the roofs and arrest them.
I think getting on the roof was a bit silly. They're not getting away anywhere really, are they? They're just stuck in one place now.
Police found bank cards and other items on the roof they suspect were stolen from cars in the Manopara area. 4 boys wearing balaclavas were initially spotted walking down Kifler Street trying door handles of parked cars.